Welcome to In History, Ancient Rome, the mighty empire that dominated the world for centuries. With its advanced civilization, military prowess and unmatched influence, it seemed unstoppable. But was its downfall inevitable, or was Rome undone by a hidden conspiracy that worked from within? Join us as we uncover the secrets behind the collapse of one of the greatest empires in history. Before we dive into the shadowy world of Roman conspiracies, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all our historical mysteries. Now, let's take a closer look at the forces that may have led to Rome's fall. By the 2nd century AD, the Roman Empire had reached its peak, spanning from Britain to North Africa, from Spain to the Middle East. It seemed indestructible. Rome was rich in resources, its legions were nearly unbeatable, and its culture influenced the world. But beneath this golden era, cracks had already begun to form. As early as the Republic, Rome was no stranger to political intrigue. Factions in the Senate, ambitious generals and power-hungry elites all vied for control. Some historians believe that a series of hidden conspiracies, plots within the government, betrayal among leaders, and corruption in the military set the stage for Rome's inevitable collapse. Our first glimpse into conspiracy comes during the time of the Gracchi brothers, Tiberius and Gaius Gracchus. These two Roman politicians sought to reform Rome's vast inequalities by redistributing land to the poor. Tiberius and later Gaius were both assassinated, and some say their deaths were orchestrated by Rome's ruling elites, wealthy senators who feared losing power. This marked the first time in Roman history that political violence became a tool for silencing reformers. The message was clear: challenge the status quo and you may pay with your life. This wasn't just an isolated incident. Some historians suggest that the Gracchi brothers' deaths reveal a hidden conspiracy within the Roman aristocracy, a plan to keep power concentrated in the hands of the few, no matter the cost. Of course, when it comes to conspiracies in ancient Rome, no story is more famous than the assassination of Julius Caesar. On the Ides of March, 44 BC, Caesar was stabbed 23 times by a group of senators led by Brutus and Cassius. This wasn't just a random act of violence, it was a calculated and premeditated conspiracy. Caesar's rise to power had threatened the Republic's traditional ruling order, and the conspirators believed his death would save Rome. But here's the twist. Caesar's murder only threw Rome into chaos, sparking a civil war that eventually led to the rise of the Roman Empire under Augustus. The conspirators, in trying to restore the Republic, inadvertently ended it. Was this the real conspiracy? Was Rome doomed not by Caesar's ambitions, but by the failure of the very people who conspired against him? Some believe that the assassination of Caesar was a turning point that set Rome on a path it could never recover from. Fast forward to the imperial period, and the internal conspiracies only grew. One of the most notorious players in Rome's political intrigue was the Praetorian Guard, the elite soldiers tasked with protecting the emperor, but instead of protecting, they became king-makers and king-slayers. From Caligula to Commodus, emperors who displeased the Praetorian Guard found themselves at the sharp end of a sword. The Guard was responsible for multiple assassinations, and some even auctioned off the throne to the highest bidder. Their influence became so corrupt that the stability of Rome's leadership was constantly undermined. Historians argue that these internal power struggles, driven by greed and betrayal, helped destabilize the Roman Empire. With no secure leadership, the empire weakened, opening the door for external threats. While internal conspiracies tore at Rome's leadership, external forces conspired to bring the empire down from the outside. By the 3rd and 4th centuries AD, the Roman Empire faced increasing pressure from barbarian tribes, Goths, Vandals, and Huns. Some scholars suggest that the collapse wasn't just due to military defeats, but may have been aided by internal treachery. Defectors, spies, and bribery were rampant. It's possible that some Roman generals or officials, weakened by corruption, conspired with outside forces to hasten Rome's downfall. And then there's the theory that Rome's elites themselves allowed the empire to crumble, seeking to preserve their own power and wealth as the Western Empire fell into chaos. Was this the ultimate conspiracy, a deliberate weakening of Rome from within? Another conspiracy theory points to the rise of Christianity. While the early Christians were persecuted in Rome, the religion's influence eventually spread across the empire, culminating in Emperor Constantine's conversion in the 4th century. Some historians argue that Christianity's rise fundamentally changed Rome's values, creating divisions within society. The once pagan empire was now guided by a new religious ideology, and conspiracy theorists suggest this religious transformation weakened Rome's traditional power structures. Was the adoption of Christianity part of a hidden plan by religious leaders to shift the balance of power, or was it simply the inevitable rise of a new belief system? The debate continues to this day. In 476 AD, the last Roman emperor of the West, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed, marking the official fall of the Western Roman Empire. But was it inevitable? Some argue that Rome's fall was the result of centuries of internal corruption, political intrigue, and conspiracies, both from within and outside. The elite conspired to maintain their power, the military betrayed its leaders, and the empire was carved up by opportunistic forces. So, was ancient Rome truly doomed by a hidden conspiracy? Perhaps it wasn't just one grand plot, but rather a series of smaller conspiracies, political backstabbing, military betrayals, and religious shifts that, combined with external pressure, led to the fall of this once great empire. What do you think? Was Rome's fall inevitable, or was it engineered by the actions of a few? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries.